In today's archives, this case didn't end in no courtroom. It ended behind prison walls. Let's get into it. But before we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any upcoming videos. Detroit. A 13-year-old girl disappears and never comes home. 2 years later, the man responsible is sentenced to prison. But before justice could fully play out, he's gone. Jarvis Butts, 43 years old, had just been convicted in multiple cases, including the murder of Naziah Harris, a young girl, a student, a child who should have had years ahead to live. Instead, her story ends in silence, and the man who knew what happened to her takes that silence with him. STJ Squad, let's break it down. Naziah Harris went missing in January 2024. At first, it's another missing child case, but quickly things start to point somewhere darker. Investigators uncover messages, disturbing conversations between her and Jarvis Butts that go back way to 2022. That means this wasn't sudden. This was a pattern, a build-up, a situation that had been developing over time, right in front of the people that should have noticed and cared about Naziah. Authorities say Butts had access to her through family connections. He wasn't a stranger. And that's what makes this even more unsettling, because cases like this don't always come from the outside. Sometimes they come from people already inside the circle. Prosecutors later revealed something even more disturbing. They believe he had been targeting women just to get close to their children. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. He was eventually charged in multiple cases involving young victims. An 8-year-old relative, another young girl, and evidence suggests this behavior had been going on for years. But let's fast forward to 2026. Right before his trial was supposed to begin, Jarvis Butts takes a plea deal. 6 different cases, multiple charges, including second-degree murder. He's sentenced to 35 to 60 years for Naziah's death, and additional time for the other crimes running at the same time. His earliest release date would have been 2059. A sentence that ensures he would have spent most of his life behind bars. But here's where everything shifts. 2 weeks later, March 26, 2026, he's found dead in prison, reported as a suicide. And just like that, the one person who could have given full answers is gone. No full trial, no detailed testimony, no moment where everything is laid out piece by piece in front of the public. This should get our antennas going, STJ Squad. Just think about that for one moment. A family still searching for closure. A body that has never been recovered. And the one person who knew exactly what happened is no longer here to speak. Investigators believe Naziah's body was dumped into a Rouge River. Search efforts turned up clothing items she was last seen wearing, like something like a pink jumpsuit, a jacket, maybe a shoe. And what stood out was the condition of these items. Authorities said the items looked recent, not something that had been out there for long, which raises even more questions. What really happened in those final moments? What led to that location? And how much more was there that we'll never hear about? This case isn't just about one crime. It's about patterns, warning signs, missed opportunities to intervene. Because when investigators looked deeper, this wasn't new behavior. There were plenty of signs going back for years and years. And that's the part that keeps coming up in cases like this. How long was this happening before anyone stepped in? Now, let's talk about something real for a second, because it's easy to look at a headline, see the ending, and move on. But behind that headline is a family, a community, a child who never got the chance to grow up. When the cases end like this with a confession but no full story, it leaves gaps. We're talking about gaps that don't just disappear, they stay. Because accountability isn't just about sentencing. It's about understanding. It's about truth being laid out clearly. And in this case, that truth may never fully come out. Now, the question becomes, what do we take from this? We take awareness. We take the reminder that danger doesn't always look unfamiliar. And we take the importance of paying attention to patterns early before they turn into something irreversible. Because once it reaches this point, there is no undoing it, no fixing it. Only looking back and asking what could have been done differently. If you like deep conversations like this, grab your STJ merch and a copy of the Spilling the Juice book series at spillingthejuice.com. Also available on Amazon and all major book platforms. STJ Archives, signing off.